Well, hello everyone, and Merry Christmas or Happy Hanukkah to each one of you who are watching. I'm Scott from the Old Curiosity Shop, and I'm happy to be participating in an open collaboration hosted by Tammy at Vintage Uprising Texas and Martha at Vintage Conversation. I was asked to show you my Christmas tree. So we'll go now to the living room of my 1925 bungalow, into which I have just moved. And so there are no pictures on the walls yet. I imagine I'll be back to do a full-length video, perhaps a Christmas decoration tour of my home. But until then, let's go and take a look at what things are looking like right now. It's pretty Christmassy. And living room is just not a living room without a dish of that old-fashioned hard Christmas candy. Now my little fireplace there dates back to about 1920, the fireplace surround, and I currently am using a little electric fire inside. Originally, there were gas logs with a gas flame when this fireplace was new, around the year 1920. And I've just done something simple on the mantle this year. There are no Christmas lights on it. I don't know where I picked up the Della Robbia swag, the fruit there. Oh, probably a thrift shop somewhere. I'm using 1924 Fenton candlesticks in a beautiful jade color. And I've got two photographs on the mantle, one of my great-great-grandfather and the other of my great-great-grandmother. I didn't know either one of them, but I was fortunate enough to know a great-grandfather and a great-grandmother. The clock has also been in the family since it was new. It came down from my great-grandmother it was in my grandparents' house when I was little, and in my parents' house for a while, and now it's in mine. And it ticks away there, as it's been doing for well over 100 years. I'm currently flipping through a Good Housekeeping magazine, and this one happens to be October of 1929. I haven't quite gotten through it yet. It is quite extensive. Of course, the magazine would become much thinner in future months because, the stock market crashed in October of 1929. But let's go now to the Christmas tree, something a little more cheery than talking about the Great Depression. But first, out the window onto the front porch there, which has got a bunch of old suitcases. It looks like Uncle Henry and Aunt Martha have just arrived. I've got a Christmas tree that lights up and sits out there on the porch for the benefit of my neighbors on the street. And in the window is a wreath that was made either just before or just after the war. It dates to the 1940s. I have restored it. I've got a second one which hasn't been restored yet. All of those little foil pieces there were smashed and flattened and broken off. It took me quite some time to restore that one. And I'm looking forward to getting snowed in, hopefully, so I can work on the other one. This piece here, decoration rather, dates to 1955, about 1955, and it is a big Miro Star candle outfit there with sort of the fishnet metal wrapped around the outside. You may remember these, and it's in excellent condition. Again, dates to about 1955, the mid-50s. The tree this year is a live tree. It's the first live tree I've had in quite some time. And it's decorated mostly in ornaments from the 20s, 30s, 40s, and 50s. We'll start at the top with a metal star made by the Noma company. And this again is going to date to the 1930s and 40s. You can see the old cloth cord there coming down. And as we go down the tree, you'll see reflectors by Shiny Bright, which you can see there from the 1950s. Some Art Deco glass ornaments. There's one in the tornado shape made by Shiny Bright during the war because it has no silvering. There's a basket turned sideways. I wish you could see it from the front. That dates to the 1930s. There's another one that's sort of in the shape of sort of a Chinese lantern. That's from the 30s as well, the one on the right. This one I just found a few days ago in a shop in Philadelphia with the parrot with the bird on it. Some of the ornaments from the 50s I salvaged out of my grandparents' house before they sold it back in the 90s. So I've got some of those on the tree. The horn there is made of glass, and it is from Poland, and it dates to the 30s. I love this one. This, what would we say, 1950s atomic with the moon and the stars. The lights on the tree are a string of Christmas lights that date to the 1960s. I have them on a dimmer so that I can turn them up and down and cool them off. Right now they're on full juice. But you do want to be careful, of course, as you know, with those old hot lights. There's another ornament, two more ornaments that go back to the 1930s. Everything here is all glass on this tree. That's one of my favorites right there in front and center. And we'll peek around to the back and see one that's painted there. You might have seen the head of Santa Claus on the blue one. I have mostly a variety of 1950s, 40s Shiny Brights, and then prior to that, the ones made in Germany, and some after the war that were made in Poland. And of course I prefer the colored lights, the big old-fashioned lights. And if anybody can get their hands on some good old lead tinsel, I would be delighted. And I will stretch out each piece and dangle it over the branches the way people used to do in the old days. So backing up here, you can see a little bit more of the living room. I've got some more decorating to do, put a few more things out. But I'll just back up now and let you have a look. I want to thank Martha and Tammy for inviting me to participate in this collaboration. I hope you enjoyed my video, and I hope you'll stay tuned and watch everyone else's as well. Put it on repeat and enjoy the holiday season as we share our decorations with you. That's it for now. Thanks for watching, folks, and so long.